many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
I talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she's required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
I tell you what, everybody, there needs to be a lot of that type of talk, and there's going to be a whole lot more coming out of Washington, D.C. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. I would like to tell all of Congress to kiss it, folks. They're doing what they're doing, knowing what they're doing, and then they wonder why people are upset. They wonder why they're getting caught. It's almost as if they think they should get away with what they're doing. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. In Congress, the House of Representatives, they passed the SAVE Act, which was supposed to, stop illegals from voting. Only U.S. citizens vote. Well, it got to the Senate, and the Senate Democrats blocked it. So illegal immigrants can vote in a presidential election if the state and the voting districts allow it. This is why I say you and me, all of us, wherever we live, get involved with your voting station, your local political party. Call them up. Say you want to volunteer at the polling place on election day. Democrats, folks, are communists. They are the party of death, and they are the party of destroy America. That is exactly who they are. Folks, the Prepared Mind channel is about shit hitting the fan. It's about having the things you need. Understanding that no matter what the emergency, what the crisis, food, water, shelter, clothing,
Hang in there, folks. John's having his camera problem again, so I think he's in the process of rebooting. And if he could get it to work, he'll be right back. Well, I see him coming on.
Let's hear it for YouTube. I'm back. Yeah.
And I'm gone.
Okay, yep. Being prepared is about having all the items we need, folks, especially self-defense in your plan. But you can't survive without food or water. Can't survive without having all those items. Now, listen, the left hates us. The left hates everything having to do with the Constitution, lawful behavior, America. They are the party of destruction, folks. They're the party of death as well. And they don't understand what they've done. I mean, on The Daily Show is a comedy show, but they sat down with a focus group of Black Americans. And funny, the correspondent for the comedy show actually was stunned that 50%, half of the Black voters in this focus group, said they're voting for Trump. Folks, Black communities are feeling it all across the country, and word is spreading. Hey, this Democrat plantation stuff, it just don't work. Right? They're feeling abandoned. They're feeling abandoned by the open border and the loss of social services in their towns. The cities are going broke, paying for illegals, while American citizens don't have any money, right? And I'm especially concerned about, American citizens, American veterans. We need our money to help ourselves, but know that Democrats are giving it away. So, yeah, it's no wonder. Now, I don't know if half the country's Black Americans are going to vote Trump. But in this poll, this focus group, they sure did. There's going to be hell to pay, folks, and they don't understand. They're like, "Geez, I thought if you didn't vote Biden, you ain't black." Crazy stuff, folks. But it's not just the illegal aliens that are driving people out of the Democrat Party, right? The left will not quit with their propaganda, with their programs, and I just called them what a few minutes ago? The party of death. Right? The Defense Department, folks. Biden's Defense Department. Biden's law enforcement. Biden's prosecutors. Biden's FBI. Biden's Attorney General. They're all anti-American. But the Defense Department decided they're going to label pro-life organizations as terrorist organizations. And they did this during an anti-terrorism briefing. How is it that people that want to protect babies from being literally pulled limb from limb apart into little pieces and vacuumed, why would anyone want to do that to an unborn baby? Well, Democrats want to do it, folks. These baby murdering Democrats are never going to quit. The ones in power, the ones in charge, the extreme activists. But they're losing. They're losing a huge percentage of Democrats. At the very least, they're going to be unmotivated to go vote for this crap. But it's happening, folks. It's happening, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to big, big violence. So we've covered a couple things here on this Friday Eve. Right, we've covered what? Well, the abortion issue. We covered, giving away money to illegals. Let's cover this. How about the religious war we're in? A religious war, folks, over in Normandy, which is on the northwest coast of France. In Normandy, a 1,000-year-old church has caught fire. And the authorities are saying it's possible that it was a religious attack. And my response to that is no shit, right? Oh, I think it's over 800 churches have been burned, arson attacked in France in the past few years. Once again, folks, no, jihadis would never burn a Christian church. But they want to bring them here to America. They're bringing them. They're here. They're now here, folks. These people are scum. The Democrats want to allow them into the country, give them all the money, and then let them vote. Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, white Americans, we all feel like we're being replaced by a population of people that have nothing to do with America, that don't understand our law, history, culture, traditions, nothing. What better people for the Democrats to have than people who don't know what they don't have because they don't understand the value of the Constitution? And I think maybe a lot of people argue too much about the words in the Constitution and not the value of it, because it is the Constitution that binds government so it can't harm us. There's great value in that. What do the Democrats want? Authoritarian, totalitarian government. What do jihadis want? The same thing. They want their Sharia law, totalitarianism. So they're doing the dirty work for the Democrats, and none of them know what they're losing, the value. They just think they're going to win. In fact, yesterday I had a friend ask me, why do they want to destroy the Constitution? What's wrong with them? Don't they like being free? Don't the Democrat socialist scumbags like being free? Why would they vote for someone to take away their rights, take all their money away, take their property, everything? Why would they vote for that, to make government the supreme authority over their lives? Why would someone want that? Well, the best answer I could come up with is they hate themselves. And they want everyone else to be equally miserable, so they want to destroy the country. Unbelievable, folks. It is. It's truly, to me, unbelievable. And Biden's people, folks, that are coming across the border, they're at it again. Oh, they never stopped. Not at all. Let me share with you another horrifying story. Another illegal immigrant, one of Biden's people, Joe Biden's people, has been arrested for killing a 6-year-old girl in Alabama. Once again, a grown man from another country, another culture, comes to America, sees a 6-year-old girl, decides he's going to victimize her and kills her. We didn't have this sort of outrageous child killing, with the exception of Dr. Fauci and the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control, the United States government, which decided we should give children, small children, toddlers, and even infants the Jim Jones juice. And now we have babies and children having heart attacks and strokes. I guess the Biden's people, they want to compete with those numbers. It is crazy what they're doing to this country, folks. And the most innocent among us, let me tell you a little bit about that. It's starting to come out that sexual abuse in school is massive. It is a huge scandal in America. It is greater than the problem with the Boy Scouts and the molestation there. It's greater than the problem ever was in the Catholic Church. There's 50 million school kids in this country. And the sex abuse in classes is getting off the hook. Educators, folks, teachers, administrators, principals, and school boards are illegally suppressing the sexual abuse, the sexual assaults, the grooming, the statutory rape that's going on. And they want to keep you and me, the public, unaware of the numbers. Folks, it's coming out. Teachers are the biggest perverts and child porn groomers out there, period. Look at all the green, pink, blue, purple hair. Look at it. Look at them. They've got communist flags on their walls in their classrooms. The Chinese communist flag, the Russian communist flag, back when they were the Soviet Union. They have their rainbow flags, their trans flags, which are flags promoting and pronouncing child sex, grooming, pedophilia, minor attracted persons. That's who these people are. This is what they're doing to our country. Is it any wonder that the Black community, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, the white community, we've all had it? Well, many of us have had it. But they're even losing their own people. Right now, it is coming out today. And by the way, get your comments and thoughts down below. Get your questions about, no matter what's going on in the world, there's a lot to talk about. I'll cover a lot of stuff in my 30-minute monologue, but it's up to you to give us your thoughts and comments to share with the world also. This show's not just about me. It's about what you guys want to talk about. We're a group. We're a community. It is the Prepared Mind Network. Whew. These people, folks, these leftists, they don't get it. They think, well, maybe we need more child grooming. Maybe we need more children being raped, like in California. LGBTQIA plus people showed up at a public discussion about the law to make child prostitution a felony. And guess what? The LGBTQIA people showed up against that. They don't want it to be a felony. They want to be able to victimize children. That is how sick the Democrats are. Sick. And, well, Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, they know they're losing. People, the interest in voting is going down, 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 down. You know what they're doing, those two? Obama and Pelosi? They're blaming Biden. Well, Biden is his own worst enemy. But they think if they get rid of Biden, they'll get some young, exciting guy in there or girl, and they'll get more voter turnout. What they're afraid of, folks, is with Biden on the ticket, they're afraid that people will be so dissuaded they won't even bother going voting, the Democrats. Don't buy it for a second. They're going to cheat their asses off. Get out there, vote, and then volunteer at your voting polling station. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to come down to it. If we don't win, the Democrats are going to go, see, they're happy with endless wars and murder in Ukraine. They're happy with an open border. Americans are happy with the child sex grooming. They're happy with the transgender military. They're happy with farms being closed and bug farms and fake meat and $5 a gallon gas. They're happy with that. Now, folks, I'm telling you, Americans are waking up, and we need to keep waking up. Look, if I was a parent still, I would not send. I'd pull my kids out of school. I would pull my kids out of school. Public school. Unbelievable what is going on, and I'm glad it is being exposed. Right? The Democrats are afraid of Biden. They want to get rid of him. But Biden polls better than Kamala Harris. Biden polls better than gruesome Gavin Newsom. But they think if they get some exciting people in there, they may show up and vote for camel toes and still lose to Trump, but at least they won't lose the Senate and they won't lose the House much more. But if Democrats don't show up to vote, they lose the presidency. They lose possibly the Senate, and the Republicans will maintain control of the House. And they need to get rid of maggot Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House. They need to dump him like a bad habit. They need to get rid of him. But the other reason they're letting all these illegals in is they need votes, folks. Can you imagine Biden getting a 15 million voter bonus? It's kind of like the Democrat Party with California, Illinois, and New York states. They start every presidential race with about 100 electoral college votes right off the bat. They don't have to do anything for them because California is so fucking liberal. And New York has New York City. Even though that's turning, it's not going to be enough. And then there's always Illinois as well. But if things continue to go bad for the Democrats, they could lose, folks. There's a lot of people calling for a landslide. I'm calling for a massive Trump supporting turnout. Massive Trump supporting turnout. I mean, get this. This is how bad it is for Biden. Right? 3, count them. 1, 2, 3. 3 people showed up for a Biden for President reproductive freedom rally. That's right. At the Pennsylvania State Capitol, legislators were there, and they had a Biden for President reproductive freedom rally, meaning an abortion rally for the president. And 3 people showed up. Do you think the fruitcakes are overrepresented? Fruitcakes, meaning the butt pirates, the tongue and groove members of the audience, or rather the population. 3 people showed up. Doubt me not, Biden is a nobody that nobody cares about. Nobody. And it's not going to get better for him, folks. It really isn't. It's not going to get better. It's going to stay nasty and get nastier. I want everyone to be well aware of what is going on. Good golly. I mean, where do we start? Where does it stop? Where does it end? I'm telling you. Now, we're fighting back. Right? If everyone remembers, Ken Paxton, who is the Attorney General of Texas, they tried railroading him out of office. Why? Because he's pro-American. Texas has a bunch of rhino Republicans. Remember, Texas is the state of George W. Bush, right? It's the state of Jeb Bush. It's the state of George H.W. Bush down in Crawford, Texas. Right? There's a lot of rhino Republicans. There's a lot of Democrats there because of all the transplants. I believe Texas is now getting stronger. And it's going to be more red after this election. But we've got to get there. And they tried getting rid of Ken Paxton. They tried railroading him out. But Ken has now announced that the Texas House General Investigating Committee was working with the Biden administration in order to try and give federal charges pressed against Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, because he's too Republican. Do you see how this fight works, folks? Do you believe that the Biden administration is not involved in prosecuting Americans? They went after Ken Paxton. They failed. They went after Trump, and they've failed. But even though we think, SHTF is going to be about us on the street level, it's also at the political elitist level. In the states, in Washington, D.C., there's going to be political chaos. I'm waiting. I've got my popcorn ready. I've got my sidearm. I've got a shotgun handy. I'm waiting for the politicians to go after one another. Right? Because we know they don't like each other. They know who the other side is. They know who the other side is. Oh, the wacky, folks. It just continues. Now, I've talked about Joy Reid many times. She went off. She works for MSNBC, folks. She is a mainstream media personality. Well, she's a black woman, but she has a short, white, straight hair. Kind of like this right here. I guess she culturally appropriated it from some liberal suburban housewife. Anyways, Joy Reid was shooting her mouth off. You want to know what she had to say? I mean, Joy Reid is a racist moron who thinks her job is to, and here's the quote, keep that insane ideology of white Christian nationalism and white supremacy and white male Christian dominance out of power. Can you imagine being that idiotic, that anti-white, to be totally racist like that and be allowed to say that publicly as a paid member of the mainstream media, the news, right? It would never happen for someone like me or you or anyone else. If we had that job and we were racist, it wouldn't happen. But I guess there is this new thing called the black liberal privilege. And Joy Reid, she's got 2 big spoonfuls of it. She can say whatever she wants about men. She's a dictator. No. A dictator. She's that. She is a racist. I can't imagine sitting right here. What if I sat in this chair and said, all black people need to die. But we got to do something about all these black. We got to do it. Right? That's what they do. They're like, we got to get rid of white people. We got to kill the white people. We got to get them out of the country. We got to deport the white people. It's like, really? Really? Well, everybody kind of needs us in every country, right? Because we do stuff like work and pay taxes. Crazy, folks. She's anti-white, totally racist. And she can spout off that type of trash in America on the news. I mean, Alex Jones said some outrageous shit. Whether it was true or not, many people will argue. He said some outrageous shit. Didn't hurt anybody. Nobody was killed because of it. Nobody was hurt. And somehow, the people that filed a lawsuit against Alex Jones for talking got a $1 billion judgment from a guy who doesn't have $1 billion. But Joy Reid can say whatever she wants. And because she's being allowed to say it, MSNBC, which is Microsoft, Bill Gates, and NBC together, they're condoning it, they're allowing it, and therefore they are, I would say, responsible for her language. because they haven't told her you're done. They haven't told her apologize. They haven't said we're sorry for what she said. That's not the opinion of MSNBC. Instead, we know what it is. They're full of hate. They are the party of hatred, the party of evil, the party of death, and the party of anti-America. I mean, how can you take an oath if you're a fucking communist? You can't be loyal to America if you are a communist. You can't be loyal to America if you are an anti-American jihadi, a pro-Palestinian Hamas moronic terrorist. But these are the people that are out there right now, right around you, in the 10-mile radius around you. These Democrats live there. Now, let's just say 1 or 2 out of 10 decide they're not going to vote because they don't like Biden or they don't like Kamala Harris, but they're still Democrats. They still support this Democrat crap. They still support anti-Christian, anti-man, anti-white concepts and ideas. They still want to push critical race theory, even though it's being made illegal in many states, like it is in Florida, right? They still want to push diversity, equity, and inclusion, even though it's causing planes to fall out of the fucking sky. But they want it. They want it. They want more fruitcakes and unqualified people in executive positions to prove, well, they're proving it, that bad decisions equal loss, destruction, and terror. Crazy, folks, just crazy. And speaking of that, loss and destruction, the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. has a Republican majority, is run by an anti-freedom, as far as I'm concerned, Speaker of the House, Maggot Mike Johnson. Well, we had Representative Luna. She was going to hold Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress and arrest him. But 4 Republican congressmen, they're Republican in name only, rhinos, 4 voted no. So Garland, Merrick Garland, has now gotten away with criminal contempt, failure to produce lawfully required documentation in Congress. This is what happens, folks. You have turncoat traitor pieces of shit in Washington, D.C., and they're waiting their turn to step up and screw us over. I mean, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, when he first got in, they're calling him MAGA Mike Johnson. Make America great again. Well, did he make America great again by giving another $100 billion to Ukraine? Did he make America great again by allowing this shit? He should have put all the pressure on every single Republican to hold Merrick Garland accountable for his actions. There are 2, not 1, but 2 Trump administration officials in jail right now for contempt of Congress. But Garland, a member of the Biden team, can get away with his criminal contempt. I have nothing but contempt for DC and all these douches and slimes. Time is going to come. The time is going to come. I was feeling rather brusque today, and I walked by an average-sized person, and I was just feeling pissed off. And all I heard behind me was, damn, that dude's big. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of big fists coming down on these people at some point, and I'm not promoting violence. That's Mad Maxine Waters. I'm not promoting criminal behavior. That's Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. But at some point, the fist of justice is going to come down. The hammer. It's going to happen. At some point, folks, it's going to happen. I'm going to finish up my monologue with this. I've been talking about Britain's new prime minister, who is a mega liberal piece of shit. He stopped all the momentum England had to kick out illegal immigrants, criminals, and scumbags and send them back. And he's done more than that, folks. Now he has authorized Ukraine to use British missiles to send into Russian mainland, not fighting on the border, not fighting over eastern Ukraine. They're authorizing, just like the United States' big boy president Biden. And now Britain says, yeah, go ahead and use our missiles to shoot them into Russia. Folks, Russia is totally justified in whatever retaliation they see fit. Right? Russia, there's no turning the other cheek, folks. You're right. If someone slaps your face, you turn the other cheek if they're your brother, right? Well, a bomb, a missile, a rocket killing people is not a slap. There's no turning the other cheek to murder. Murder. It's coming, folks. There's going to be a price to pay. I'm not hoping for it. I'm just sitting back and watching. And it is extremely frustrating to see everything from the lowest local little politics to the highest international politics, all of the left-wing socialist policies being enacted to our chagrin, to our demise. It's time to get ready, folks. Time to fight it. Time to fight it. Let's shoot them down with your ideas and shoot them down with your thoughts. It is time to get going on the inner circle. And we're back. Uman's back too. He's in the background. He's getting everything ready. Mr. Uman, where shall we go? And we're going to start with Mr. Diving Frog. And what he says is, John came across something you might like. You can now purchase ammunition for guns via a vending machine at a grocery store. Not sure what state, though. I read this a couple of days ago or just got a glimpse of it. I found it rather amusing. I think there's a couple of states. I believe they're down south. Was it, Uman, Mississippi and Alabama? Oh, Uman says those vending machines are being installed in Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas. Plans on putting them in Colorado as well. As you see, folks, selling ammunition is not illegal. When I was a kid, I could go to the store, buy all the ammo I wanted, even before I was 18. I could buy shotgun shells. I could buy .22 ammunition, 30-30 for hunting. You bet. Grocery store. We didn't have them at the grocery store, but we had hardware stores and sporting goods stores. And you know what was amazing? Back in 1986, I went into a store. Went into a store in California. The store was called Sprouse Ritz. No, it wasn't a Sprouse Ritz. That was the other store. Shit, I can't remember. Anyways, they had guns on the wall. It was like a variety hardware store, but they had guns and they had an AR-15, Armalite AR-15, and it was I think $525, and it was the M16A1 civilian version. You know, the long barrel, triangular front foreign stock, right? Very basic. And I thought, wow, that looks like that'd be great to own. And now there are hundreds of millions of them out here because they are inexpensive and extremely popular. Anyways, and they're much better than they were back then, right? They got the M4 feed ramps in them. You got chromoly line barrels. Right, you got gas-operated piston system if you want it, right? Collapsible stocks, Picatinny rail systems, sighting systems, pop-up sights, right? It's incredible what you can get for the same money that was available 40 years ago, essentially. 40 years ago, same number of dollars. So, hell, it's like 75% off. Anyways, ammunition. I think it's a great idea. I would like to see them bring back cigarette vending machines too. How about chewing tobacco vending machines? Why not? Right? Let's see. They do everything they can to stop kids from getting what? Well, nicotine. Right. Oh, man, nicotine is evil. Cigarettes are evil. But taking puberty blockers, sex change hormones, and cutting your genitals off, that's perfectly fine. Kids can make those decisions, but they can't decide if they want tobacco products. Nope. And guns are dangerous. So no ammo. You can't let kids have ammo. But you can give kids who have head problems because their parents keep telling them to get a sex change operation. So they give them antidepressants and other drugs that cause them to be psychotic as well as suicidal. But we don't want to give ammo to kids, and we don't want to give tobacco to kids, but instead give them dangerous pharmaceutical drugs and really sharp things to cut their body parts off with. That's the world we live in, folks. That's democracy. It's just awful stuff. Wow. What a world, right? What a world. Mr. Uman. There's just so much to chew through going fast on this. This is a big one. Uman says, requires ID to verify if you're over 21 and the picture on the ID matches your face. Brilliant. Okay. You've got to be over 21 and have an identification card that a scanner can read before you can buy ammunition. It should actually be 18 because they've lost in court that you can't deny 18-year-olds the ability to buy a gun. So if they can buy a gun, like in California, I bought a shotgun at age 18, right? Anyways, Joe Biden said, get a shotgun. So I've got 2 of them. But yeah, no problem, right? You got to be 21 to get ammunition. You only have to be, 2, and your parents decide they want to change your gender for you. You imagine all the kids that are going to grow up all fucked up physically, psychologically, developmentally. And what is their excuse going to be? It'd be like, hey, Fred, why are you only 5'3" tall? And why is your voice squeaky? And Fred's going to say, well, when I was 2, my parents decided to give me sex change drugs and cut my dick off. There you go. Oh, man. Anyways, age 21. So you've got to be 21 to buy ammo, 21 to buy tobacco products if they have their way. Well, you do have to be 21 to buy alcohol. You have to be 18 to be able to buy a car or own a house and property. But you can be 5, 4, 3 years old and say, I want some dangerous drugs that can cause me to become a murderous psychopath or a suicidal murder case. And you can't stop me. And if my parents don't agree with me, then the state can take me away from them and let me do what I want. Crazy. Chin Music says, no thanks, Uman. Sounds like a list maker to me, plus a camera shot of your face. What Chin Music's referring to is the vending machine that wants to check your ID. So they get your name, your age, right? Your date of birth. They'll get your address, your mailing address, or a physical address. You bet. And then they'll compare that to the face that, here and your ID. Yeah, everything. I'm telling you, Chin, everything's a list maker. I'm on lots of lists. I wonder how many lists Uman is on. I wonder how many lists we're all on. As far as I see it, once you're on one list, you may as well be on them all. Because that's what they want. A centralized, computerized database of everybody who doesn't suck up to Joe Biden, Obama, and the Democrats. And they would like to round us up and give us the Chairman Mao treatment. And the Chairman Mao treatment isn't a 30-minute massage with a happy ending. Oh, no. The Chairman Mao treatment is walk over to that ditch and a bullet in the back of the head. Funny enough, that's also the Stalin treatment, as well as the Hitler treatment for anyone he didn't like. Crazy stuff. The camera shot of your face could turn into a bullet shot to the back of the head. But I'm not too worried about it. If I had a chance to buy ammunition out of a vending machine, I might do it just for the thrill of flipping the camera off and having it say, hey, no. We need to see your face, not your finger. That would be fun. I could sit there all day long and flip them off. That'd be great. Actually, I'd probably be bored in just a few moments. But anyways, I'm sure the ammunition in a vending machine is more expensive. It's always more expensive to buy cigarettes by the pack than by the carton. And it's certainly more expensive to get cigarettes in jail. Don't go to jail. Don't recommend it. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Chin Music. And man, I know we've got lots to talk about today. And at the end of the show, as per new tradition, I will be reading from a couple of news headlines. And I don't know what it says yet. I just know that from the time we started till now, more news is being reported that will blow the normal person away. Do you remember when we would go through an entire week and there'd be one, maybe two crazy ass news stories? And I'd be like, holy cow, this is one heck of an SHTF week. I get one or two holy cow stories every hour. Every day is full of them. It's accelerating, folks. It's absolutely accelerating. This curve of SHTF is growing on, is growing, and now it's just going straight up. Straight up. Do you think for a second that if you were in a concentration camp, the Democrat guards wouldn't abuse you? Do you think that for a second Democrat guards wouldn't rape you? If you're a woman, they would rape you. If you're a man, they would rape you. Oh, and if they had children in concentration camps, I'm sure all of the pink and green-haired Democrat prison guards, what do you think they would do? Oh, yeah, they would rape the children. No doubts. I have no doubts anymore, folks. No doubts at all. They want drag queens in schools. Right? The report came out today that our schools in this country are full of predators and child molesters. And they're getting caught all the time. That's why they want minor attracted persons. That's why they don't want a law making child prostitution a felony. And it's bad enough it could be a misdemeanor raping a child, but to make it a felony, oh, no, we can't have that. And we can't have people being stopped from voting. Some idiot, and I don't know what this dumb bitch's name was because I couldn't take it. I don't think it was Ayanna Pressley, but it was another dumbass bitch screaming that to stop illegals from voting and require identification is xenophobic. Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't see any xenophobes come across the border. Anyway, man, did you see any xenos? I didn't see any xenos. I saw some Latinos, some Latinas. I saw some Chinese men and Chinese women. I saw some Middle Eastern men and women. I saw some jihadis and some jihados, but I didn't see any xenos. But, we're xenophobic. And I know it's supposed to mean you're afraid of everything. It's not afraid. It's not fear. I don't fear any of these fucking scumbags that have come across the border. I haven't met one yet. I passed some in the airport months ago, but I didn't get to meet them and talk to them. I just glared at them and fucking mad dogged them. But, what are you going to do? If I went and tried picking them up and throwing them back into an airplane, I'm sure I would be thrown into jail. Now, Name Redacted chimes in and says, maybe they're finally learning that they have been duped and used. How many of the dickless are going to go postal in the future? Well, I think we got two topics there. Let's start with the other one, Mr. Uman. Maybe they are finally learning they have been duped and used. I think he is talking about the minorities in America. Ever since the war on poverty came about and the implementation of the welfare state and the federal government and state governments giving away free money as long as a woman is a single mother, it destroyed the black family. It destroyed the black family by and large. I'm telling you, go back to the 1940s. Go back to the 1950s, the 1930s, the 1920s. Black Americans had dignity. They dressed with dignity, nice clothes. They dressed nice. They spoke well. They were educated. They wanted to be educated. The family was strong. Right? The father was in the house. The mother was in the house. They had strong communities and strong beliefs that they were free, that they would always be free, that they could excel, that they could become wealthy, they could become landowners. What are they today? What is the goal of everyone today in the ghetto-minded community? Well, it's to become a pro sports player, don't you know, or a rapper. That's right, be a rap star or a professional sports athlete. Now, the people that become rap stars, yeah, they become very wealthy. I mean, how's it working out for P. Diddy? Right? How's it working for some of these rapsters, right, that end up getting shot and killed on their way to stardom? And as far as the athletes go, they make a shit pile of money, but it's a very small percentage of them make it to the big show. So it's a sham. It's a fucking sham. And now Black Americans, minorities, are learning that the plantation owners, the Democrats, have duped them and used them for their votes and given them pittance for it. Instead of saying, no welfare for anyone in America. Right? Unless, you need some welfare. They help you get up and you got 3, 4, 6 months, whatever it is, and you're done. Get a job, support yourself. No. Be on welfare and make $20,000 a year, $25,000 a year, taking money from other people, or get a job, apply the education that you worked really hard on in school, and make $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, $200,000 a year, not as a pro athlete, not as a rapper, not as a drug dealer, but as a hardworking, productive American. They have taken that from the minority communities. They have been duped and used by the Democrats, bought off, so that, well, once they start buying them, now, you want more welfare? You better keep voting Democrat. They're finding out that was a sack of shit lie. And here we are, folks. Here we are. Let's go to part 2 of name redacted statement there. He said, how many dickless are going to go postal in the future? Completely different topic, right? What does he mean by dickless? All of the LGBTQIA plus people said, hey, if you're a boy and you're feeling a little confused, you're kind of upset about the world you live in, you got issues with your parents, you don't like your teacher, or you do like your teacher, we've got a program for you. It's called Cut Your Own Dick Off. Take some drugs, right? Cut your dick off. We'll make you a girl. You can wear makeup. I mean, I just, to me, it's incredible. It's unfathomable. Literally unfathomable. What kind of man wants to be a woman? Now, it used to be only the sickest, sick, ill, mentally deranged. Transgenderism is a mental disorder. Period. It's not questioned anymore. It's just we're supposed to accept them. And we're supposed to encourage them. And we're supposed to admire their bravery. And we're supposed to support them. And then we're supposed to play along with their fucking fantasies. Sorry, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I really can't wait till the dickless out there decide that they want to identify as lions and go play in the lion cage at the zoo. It's incredible. As far as going postal, thank you, Mr. Human. As far as going postal, you bet. They're all, lots of them are already going postal. They kill their parents. They kill co-workers. They kill Christians, and they kill children in mass shootings. And then they kill themselves. And then they kill one another. These people are mentally deranged. The trans people, the hardcore lesbian, gay, and bi types. I love the non-binary types. They're like, there's more than two genders, and the bisexual is like, no, there's two. There's two. There's boys and girls, and we like them both. We're bi. And they're like, no, that bi is wrong. I mean, they fight with each other. The hardcore lesbians do not like the trans men. They're like, how? You're not a woman. How can you be a lesbian? Right? They fight each other. But it doesn't matter. There's enough room in that screwball circus for all of them. I just wish there was a place we could send them where they could all be happy with each other. Can you imagine that world? Can you imagine that Congress, that city hall? Can you imagine those meetings? Can you imagine that workplace where there's nothing but fruitcakes in the workplace? Fruitcake management, fruitcake assembly line production workers. Can you imagine just the bullshit? It's crazy, folks. Anyways, thank you, Name Redacted. Thank you, man. Where do we want to go next? We're under 10 minutes left. Under 10 minutes, and Mikey G says, LBJ and the Great Society. That's right. LBJ and his Great Society has spent, I believe, close to $8 trillion in the war on poverty for the last 50 plus years. Have the poor gone away? Have the poor gotten out of being poor? Or are the poor really satisfied where they're at because they're given free money, free housing, free food? They've become dependent to the plantation owners. LBJ was a sack of shit, worthless Democrat. And he has ruined black culture. Ruined it. Ruined it. I've seen enough film. I've seen enough pictures. I've read enough books. The Democrat Party, who refused to join in the civil rights movement. In fact, the longest filibuster in Congress ever performed was performed by Democrats over the vote for the civil rights movement. Democrats. They may have well wore their KKK hoods. They may as well worn their swastikas on their arm. And instead of, doing what they could for civil rights, they went with the Great Society, the war on poverty, and destroyed the black family. Civil rights movement was huge, folks. It was huge. It was a big deal. Now what do we got? Rap? Really? Okay, Mr. Uman, where are we going next? Who's got something to say? And it's Chin Music. He says, John, you're aware I coach two different sports. Yes, I do. I'm very aware, and I admire you for it. He says, fatherless kids are at a supreme disadvantage from material, emotional, and accountability support. Biggest problem we have by far. Now, Chin Music does. He works with kids in sports. He coaches. He trains. He mentors. And when you run into somebody who's got no father in the house, you find out that, there's not material support. That is to say, money for sporting goods clothes, regular clothes, good, nutritious food. But they're at a huge disadvantage because there's not two producing parents. You've got, Uncle Sam in there giving a little bit of money, but not enough to get anywhere, but just enough to keep you asking for more and voting for Democrats. The emotional side. There needs to be a father figure. This whole feminist, anti-man, anti-American bullshit. We don't need fathers. Men are worthless. Really? Show me a country where there's no men that's successful. Show me a city. Show me anything crazy. As far as accountability, I'll change that word for discipline. Accountability to support is discipline. Right? Kids need to have good parents, and they need to have firm parents, even strict. They need to be held accountable. Kids need to have a role model that's accountable to the kids. See, I believe that children are as beneficial to parents as parents are to children. Nothing will make you grow up faster than knowing you have your own child and you need to take care of them. So it's accountability, in my opinion, both ways, Mr. Chin Music. Imagine the amount of responsibility Chin feels if he's got 3 or 6 or 10, shall we say, athletes that he's coaching and he's responsible for. It's a huge sense of accomplishment. It's a huge sense of responsibility. And kids can see that, right? I had teachers that I admired, and I had teachers that I felt were absolutely worthless. It's not teachers, it's what they do and how they act and how they do their job, teach, mentor, etc. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Chin Music, and keep up the good work. I appreciate knowing you and others like you are out there. And keep wearing those t-shirts. Damn it. It's good stuff. Okay, Mr. Uman, I know we're getting close to the end of the show. And name redacted says, evil does its thing partly through the law of inversion. They deliberately do the opposite of all that is good. And they promote it. Thank you, Uman. They promote doing bad things. Democrats, what? Well, it's good to have borders and protect your country from foreigners who don't understand the laws or the culture, who are criminals. What are we getting right now? Ignorant morons from other countries who are criminal in this country. That's the inversion of what the country should be. Military should be strong, masculine, well-trained. Instead, they are not strong. They are emasculine and emasculated, and they are not well-trained. They're sissies in most of the military units. Sissies in most military units. They flipped everything on its head. Teachers don't teach anymore. Now they indoctrinate. Teachers don't have good information. They teach kids to hurt themselves. They promote ideologies that are evil and anti-American. It's just crazy. It truly is crazy. We've got a couple minutes here, and I want to go over what's in the news. What's in the news? In Milwaukee, a radio station there is now publicly admitted that Joe Biden's campaign demanded that they edit his Joe Biden's interview, and that his ridiculous statements, faux pas, errors, mumbling, etc., be censored out, removed. And this radio station gave in. They absolutely gave in. That was the Earl Ingram show. Can you imagine that? Right? They're like, hey, we know he's a doddering old fool with dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. And he's going to say a bunch of stupid shit, but you're not allowed to play any of that. And the show's like, yep, okay then. Crazy stuff, folks. And it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. Let's see. What else have I got on the news here? Oh, Biden. I made this joke earlier when I called him a big boy. No, they're literally calling that. They literally came out and said that he's going to give a press conference. Biden hasn't given a presser in months and months and months and months and months. Why? Because he makes gaffes. He fails. He fucks up. He says stupid shit. Right? He's an awful condition. So now they've got him jacked up on a bunch of juice. They want him to sound presidential and be alert and answer questions from the press. So they're calling this a big boy press conference, like Dr. Jill pulled off his diaper, cleaned his smelly butt. and then put a clean diaper on him and said, "You're a big boy now." Well, this conference has been pushed back to 6:30 Eastern Daylight Time. So in one more hour, they could cancel it altogether, but it's supposed to be a live broadcast. I wonder, could something crazy happen? Could he trip and fall? Right? Could he be attacked by some radical jihadi and taken out and whoops, he can't be president? Is he going to announce something crazy like he's resigning? He's dropping out of the presidential race. I guess we'll find out in about an hour what he is actually going to talk about. But it is, you could call it high stakes, because like the debate with Trump, that was a make it or break it moment. Well, they broke it. They broke it. And everything he's done since then has been bad. And it's just getting worse. Just getting worse. And I'm going to end it on this, folks. I'm just going to end it there. I don't even want to tell you that the Health and Human Services Department has placed children into sponsors, foster homes, that are MS-13 gang related. How brilliant is that? Well, that's government for you. Wow. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Semper Fi, Godspeed. I'll see you 0 dark 30 tomorrow. And then tomorrow night is going to be what? You guessed it. Tomorrow is going to be the Friday free-for-all. And then Sunday will be, of course, the zoo. So I'll see you very soon.